Hello everyone, welcome back. This is Aluminum Tarot. Thanks so much for joining. I'm just making sure that this bloody thing is recording right now. So, yeah. So we've had a few technical difficulties like switching off, recordings stopping in mid-sentence. But we're going to carry on. I'm going to try to take my time, stay focused mentally because I'm quite burnt out and exhausted from a week of nothing but looking for different places in places that I want to live at and move to in the near future, which is very, very soon. So I'll keep you updated on that. In the meantime, I want to go ahead and get these things out, push forward and try to make sure that I'm staying on this channel so that way we can keep this content moving forward. So we will now be looking at the sign of Gemini, Sun, Moon and Ascendant for the month of October 2025. And for this, you can apply this from the period October 1st to October 31st. We're going to make sure it's like a good solid chunk that we can actually look at and say, okay, well, this is what I can expect in this time. Of course, time is fluid, but sometimes we can dream, right? Anyways, if you like what you see here on the channel, please be sure to give a like, share, subscribe, ding the notification bell, comment below, see how this actually affects you in your specific life. Share your stories. And also, if you'd like to support me in a financial way, monetarily, please feel free to chuck me a few quid in the PayPal, link in the description box below. And also avoid scammers. You know how they operate. You know how they act. They come through WhatsApp. They come through, what's the other one? Telegram. Yeah. But they always say, oh, well, I'll give you a free reading or I'll give you a reading. Just contact me in the WhatsApp below. That's a no. Anyways. Let's go ahead and begin. We're going to get into Gemini. Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant for the month of October 2025. What's happening in Gemini's life? Sun, Moon, Rising for the month of October 2025. Okay, nice. It's a challenge. It's taken place in the recent past for Gemini. It's taking place in the near future. There we go. Okay. What about, it's at the core. It's at the crown. All right. What's going to be the outcome for all of this? Okay. Clarify. Okay, so bottom of the deck we have the Ten of Pentacles. So what this is talking to us about is a time where we're thinking about our family. We're thinking about our legacy that we're trying to leave. We're saving up money. We're actually trying to get stable and build the life that we want everyone else to know about. Ten of Pentacles is definitely a Capricorn card, which talks a little bit about, working really hard to achieve something of substantial, awareness and understanding and of joy that is based on the material realm. So with this could be about getting a big job that makes things happen and that you can put yourself in the newspapers because you really appreciate what you have worked hard to achieve. And this could also talk about getting married, having a wife, kids, picket fence, 2.5 children, dog, and all that good stuff. But just, despite all of those, it's all about the visible, your public image and what you have built and tried to achieve over the last few years, because this is a slow moving process and something that takes a lot of hard work and determination. So looking into this, we firstly see that your main energy here is the Knight of Cups. Knight of Cups is a card that talks about, no, it's not, yeah, there is the Knight of Cups. It talks a lot about you want to move into a position where you are feeling more emotionally fulfilled. You are moving towards the things that you dream about, that you fancy about, and you want to actually make those dreams a reality. Now, for you, the struggle is going to be a bit difficult, but if you navigate properly, you will be able to achieve that. We have here the challenge here is the Six of Cups. So as this is in the challenge position, what we see here is a person who is thinking negatively about the past and wants to try to overcome that hurdle. This could either be dwelling on it so much that it becomes limerence, or maybe that you are thinking about something that happened in the past that was very negative, that's blocking your ability to move forward towards the things that you love. And the reason why I say that is because you have the Fool in the reverse in the recent past. So this was something that you were unable to take a leap on. You became very cautious about it. And it was also something that you may have even blocked conscientiously in order to, get over this Five of Cups in the reverse. So with the Five of Cups, it's all about heartbreak, disappointment, things of that nature. So maybe if you were dealing with a relationship, for example, this is one way this could apply. You may have had a bad situation in a relationship. You're trying to move forward, give your heart to someone new, but you're thinking so much about the past to where things don't necessarily flow well, and that you're unable to take a risk or a leap on someone new. And, the disappointment and the heartbreak from the past, whatever you want to call it, being alpha widowed or something like that, that is actually blocking your happiness moving forward. And the reason why I say that as well is because you have in the near future, you have the Seven of Swords, which talks to us a lot about sabotage in many ways. Clarify the Seven of Swords. So it talks about sabotage, but it can also talk about strategy, doing things in a different way that that require a bit of cunning and a little bit of ingenuity and creativity. So with the Seven of Swords, we talk a little bit about, okay, if I'm having this difficulty trying to overcome an ex, girlfriend or boyfriend, ex-husband or wife, whatnot, I need to try things that are going to be a bit different, so that way I can overcome the feelings of heartbreak. You don't want to, in the near future, though, however, use unscrupulous means in order to achieve this. So, for example, you don't want to go out there and, sleep with anything that has a pulse, for example. Or you don't want to, go out there and do horrible, mean things to people, or sabotage, the chance of having someone new in your life. Because this can say like, okay, I've met someone, but then when I try to take things forward, which is clarifying this is the Page of Wands. When I get excited about someone, I sabotage that relationship. And so this is something that you'll want to make note of in the near future as you're trying to achieve this goal of happiness, of emotional fulfillment. Right now, at your core, you have the Four of Wands in the reverse, which talks a lot about instability. Perhaps not feeling like you can actually celebrate a milestone. And for you, this may be a difficult thing for you to come to grasp with, because sometimes when our inner being is off kilter, or it's unbalanced, or it's a bit erratic, what we find is that this emanates into the outer world. And so you have at the bottom, at your core, you have the Four of Wands in the reverse. And this is how it's manifesting in your outer world, which is the Ten of Cups in the reverse. So as within, so without. If you are feeling unstable within, you're going to have a lot of difficulty in your life manifesting. And this is unconsciously done. And I will say it every single reading if I need to. Carl Jung hit the nail on the head when he said, if you do not make the unconscious conscious, it will rule your life, and you will call it fate. Well, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. And this is very, very true. 90% of who we are is subconscious, energy. 90% of the universe is space, empty space. When you look at the quantum mechanics of things, there is much more emptiness in this universe than fullness, than material. And so much of what we are, even, the physicists will say that, it's dark matter in the universe, which actually helps to propel things, make things take shape, and leads to the expansion of the universe. We have to think of ourselves like that in the unconscious sense. We ourselves are much more unconscious space than we are conscious manifestation, physical realm. There is much more in between our atoms than there is that we can actually see. And because we are not aware of that, we're not really understanding the forces that are directing our life. So what this reading is telling us about is that you want to make sure that you yourself are aware of the unconscious triggers that then lead you to push people away when you get excited with them. And so that's what this is telling me here, especially with that Page of Wands and the Seven of Swords. So what we have here in the near future, we have the Five of Wands in the reverse and the Death in the reverse. It's about, I'm going to clarify that actually, clarify the ending, clarify the outcome. Okay, Gemini, these are your cards. You have the Three of Swords. Now, whatever Gemini I'm connecting with, whatever Gemini I'm speaking to, you want to make sure that you do not repeat a cycle. That is what this is telling me about. And intuitively, that's what I feel. For example, if you're looking at this, you give up on things, but you refuse to let them go. So with the Five of Wands is a bit different than the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords is about being cutthroat. This is when you're actually at war. The Five of Wands is the competition. This is the practice before you actually go to battle. So in this sense, the competition that you need to use to put yourself out there or to achieve something or to do something, you're giving up on it. And perhaps this is then leading to an inability to let go of the past as normal, and then leading to fresh open wounds that you then have to tend to. I'm going to pull a clarifier card so that way we can see a little bit more as to what this relates to, because what I don't want to do is to, not have that validation of what this is talking about. Pull an oracle card for Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Okay, there we have it. So we have card number 33. We have the key, and this is unlocking that which is hidden. And we were just speaking about that, and we talked about being able to be aware of the unconscious triggers that we have within ourselves. And these unconscious triggers are what drive our actions in the waking world. And they're also what drive our dreams in the unconscious realm when we are asleep. So this is important. Our unconscious guides everything, our waking life and our life asleep and the afterlife. So whatever it is that you are carrying with you now, you have to release that, death in the reverse. Let it go, or you're going to open up fresh wounds and you're going to have heartbreak all over again. I'm going to quickly look at this. We see number 33, the key. It's a revelation. Something opens up. Discovery, understanding, solution. What is locked is now open. This is what you have to do for the month of October. You are going to have to do some shadow work. And this is going to allow you to and discover more about yourself that is lying dormant in the unconscious world. So that way, when you do open your heart to someone new, you're no longer pushing people away. You're no longer, reacting negatively or poorly to them, and you're no longer triggered by certain things. And this will allow you to upright that fool in the reverse that you had in the recent past. I think you need to go full tabula rasa with your life and make sure that you can see things with a fresh look. Whatever it is that you experienced in the past, if you allow it to rule your life, then you will forever live that path. So keep that in mind as you go into October. As opportunities, things start to open up, do not sabotage them, and especially if you feel something for a person. Don't be afraid to be vulnerable, because as you experience each new thing, rather than looking at it as all people are bad or all people are like this, say to yourself, what did I learn from this experience? What can I feel grateful for? And then let's move forward to the next adventure. That's what you're going to be doing in the near future when you have this Page of Wands. So that is your reading. Thank you so much, Gemini, for this. This has been Aluminum Tarot. If you like what you see here, please be sure to give a like, share, subscribe, ding the notification bell so that you don't miss any updates from future postings. And additionally, if you would like to support the channel, feel free to chuck a few quid into the pot, the PayPal pot, if you want to. And be aware of scammers. Enough said about that. I do not do personal readings right now. So anyone claiming to be me that is offering personal readings right now is a fraud. And you know what to do with frauds. Anyways, take care. Till next time, love and light. Bye now.